Welcome back to another episode of Flawless Play in the Garage, where today it's time to see what I can break out on the racetrack. Probably a lot of things. Actually, maybe like one thing, but it'll be one like catastrophic thing that stops me from driving anymore, so then I can't actually break anything else. It's usually how it goes. So this, which you might have seen before on the channel, is my Lotus, Locost. I don't know what it is, but it's a scratch-built car powered by a 2.5-liter Duratec 4-cylinder engine made out of some Pinto parts, some Mustang parts, a lot of tube steel, and some various bits and bobs from the Speedway Motors racing catalog. And we are going to take this thing out to Motorsports Park Hastings for an open track day in the morning. It's time. Maybe it's past time, actually, to get out for an afternoon onto the racetrack. And this is the toy that's just stupid enough to allow me to do that, at least until I break something on it, which doesn't usually take very long. So, and really, is it even time for a track day if you aren't prepping after dark the night before in the trailer? You thought I installed this lighting just for swankiness. No. No, it's because I knew I'd be working in here at night. So we've just done a quick alignment where I have reduced the negative camber. I was having trouble that I think was probably due to excessive negative camber last time out on the track. And got some custom made spacers. Yes, those are washers to space those upper A-arms out a little bit. Got the camber to where I think I want it for now, and then reset the toe, since all that changes, with some fancy little toe plates and a couple of tape measures. That should be close enough for what we need to do. Now it's time to pack up the rest of the gear and get ready to head out in the morning. All right, made it out to the track. So goals for today. Last time I was out here with this car, the engine was definitely sick. I was in like the 146 range on my good laps, which is not very fast out here. But I think that's my goal for today. Just want to get better each time. So I'd like to do better than a 146. Hopefully the car's healthier. Hopefully my driving's a little better. We'll see how it goes. If I could just make it through most of the day without having catastrophic mechanical failure, I'd be actually pretty happy with that no matter what the time is. It's really windy, in case that's not coming through. So that's a really good excuse if I'm slow, because it's windy. Also, I had to drive out here. What else is going on? I don't know. I'll think of some more excuses later, but we'll get driving here in a minute. Things rarely seem as dramatic on video as they feel in person, at least when you're as chicken as I am, especially in this car at high speeds. But I was really struggling in that section of the track this first round out. It felt like the wind was ready to punt me completely off the track. It felt like the front of the car was not sitting on the ground anymore. This car always gets very aerodynamically light at speed in the front and then struggles to accelerate because it turns into such a brick. But it was really bad that day with a front crosswind of 40 plus miles per hour, especially on that high-speed turn 3. I made a little tire pressure adjustment after just a lap because it felt all kinds of wonky. And that did seem to help. I was also, after that, definitely tiptoeing my way up to the line so that I could feel things a little bit better. And around that same time, it also started to rain. Now, I'm not here to cast aspersions on anybody, but I couldn't help but notice that all those nice new C8 Corvettes, some really high PO Mustangs, as soon as it started spitting a little bit of rain, they all came off the track. But me, the guy with the open cockpit, open wheel car, the rain didn't send me in. Now, okay, other things definitely sent me in. Okay, session 1 report. My wind excuse. Let me tell you about my wind excuse. It's really windy, okay? And I'm fairly certain that by the time I get to turn 3, the front of the car is not on the ground anymore. That's terrifying. Like, not only can I not see anything because the wind is buffeting me so hard, but I can feel it picking the front end of the car up and the grip just goes completely away. I admit to being a chicken about turn 3 in general, but it's really rough on me today. It's bad out there. I think if I just stood on it and tried to go through that turn flat, I would go straight through the alfalfa and end up in Kansas. Like it's, there's nothing for me out there today. Otherwise, I think after the tire pressure adjustment, it's better. I think something was wonky there. So it's not trying to kick me off the track as much as it did initially. But yeah, it's cold now and there's some rain. And so I've got no heat in the tires, no heat in the engine, no heat in the brakes, and I'm fighting that a little bit. But we'll let my heart rate simmer a little bit between sessions here and then give it another try and just try to be smooth and not punt myself too far into the alfalfa.
Now, after getting a few laps in and calming down a bit, things were going a little bit better. I was not going fast, but just kind of being smooth, feeling things out, finding the limits. I should mention also that the track has a new surface this year. This is my first time on the new surface, and this new surface completely changes the track. I think it's going to be awesome, but it's definitely different and a new learning experience. And what was really starting to become an issue for me now in the afternoon was it was getting cold. The wind was picking up even stronger, and the temperature had dropped by maybe 20 degrees from where we started. But that wasn't what actually sent me in. In all of recorded history, no one has had better timing to snap a throttle cable than me, doing it 3 feet from the pit exit.
All right, after action report, I broke it again, and I broke the throttle cable, which I strongly suspected I would do, and rather than spending $20 on another throttle cable to have with me so I could change it in 5 minutes, I didn't do that, and so now I'm packing up and going home for the afternoon, but had a good time, got 2 sessions in. Jeremy reminded me of the number of laps I got, which if you take the number of laps divided by the dollars I spent, it's not a great ratio, but I still had fun, and I was away from work from the afternoon, which that was the main point. I got a 148, which considering the rain and my issues with the wind and confidence and everything else, I was happy with. Not beating the 146 like I was hoping, but it's cold today. It's got to be in the 40s again now with the wind blowing and some rain, so I was pretty happy with that. And yeah, other than that, at some point, I'm going to have to really re-engineer this because throttle cable is constantly breaking either here or over here. And as you can see in this case, we've snapped it off nicely right there. So managed to idle it back into the trailer and then we're going home. But overall, still a successful day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.